to the Most High God, Yahweh, Shai, double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops at Great Millstone. I'm your brother, Rabbi Knapp, coming out with a lesson. Lord's will, this is edifying to the Lord's elect. I don't know if I'm talking loud enough. Voice is a little bit low today, but we're gonna get this. We're gonna get it in anyways. We'll get it in. See what's going on. In the news, it says Iran vows to irreversibly destroy infrastructure after Duck's ultimatum of Strait of Hormuz. So Duck told those Iranians that they have 48 hours to open up the strait, or he's going to blow up their power plant. So that was 11:44 p.m. Eastern time yesterday. So, so I'm thinking around, what's today? Today's Sunday. Tomorrow should be somewhere around end of Monday. Should be the 48 hours that the Duck said. He might even strike before then. He might just blow it up anyways. He always give it time, and then he never meets the time that he says he was gonna do. Because that's what you can never trust him, man. You can never trust him. It says dozens have also been injured in Iranian strikes on cities in southern Israel. So they're bombing each other, and they're gonna continue to bomb each other, and that's good. That's good, man. I'm not picking a side. I'm just saying that's good that these two nations are going up and clashing up against each other and killing each other, man. This is actually really good. This is a good idea. If Nadaju made this, if this was in his mind for it to play out this way, that's a beautiful plan. You shouldn't want Iran to have any parts of taking over the Strait of Hormuz, man. You should want to take that over. That's a good idea. So I'm for it. I'm for all everything that's going on over there from both sides. You both are doing a great job. Keep it up. Keep up the good work. All right. Let's see what else is on. I already read about that. Philadelphia travelers react after Duck suggests using ICE agents at airports to assist TSA. Yeah. So the TSA. Let's read about that. We're wondering what's going on with the TSA. I guess right now we're in the process of having a partial government shutdown it's been, I don't know how long the government's been partially shut down. Let's actually look that up. It's been like a month now. How long has the government been partially shut down? A partial U.S. government shutdown, which began in early 2026, has lasted for several days following a 43-day shutdown that occurred late 20. That's not what I'm talking about. How long has it been that DHS has not been funded in this partial shutdown? Let's see what it says. As of today, Sunday, March 2026, the Department of Homeland Security has been without funding for 37 days. So it's been a 37-day partial shutdown. And how has the shutdown affected TSA workers? This is the partial shutdown has severely impacted roughly 65,000 TSA employees, with approximately 50,000 frontline officers forced to work without pay for 37 days as of March 22, 2026. Financial hardship and missed paychecks. Workers missed their first full paycheck last week. This is the third time in 6 months they have faced funding lapses. So don't worry, that's gonna happen to everybody. So what happened was they funded the TSA agents for a certain amount of time. Now that funding stopped, so they received their last paycheck last week, but then the Duck's telling them they still gotta go to work. Okay, so they're forced to work like some slaves. So that should tell you where you're at, man. What else does it say? Extreme measures. Some officers are reportedly sleeping in their cars to save on gas. because you got to still, even though you're not getting paid, you still got to pay for gas. You still got to go to work. Okay? It's like he did in Exodus, the first chapter. Let's actually go there. Let me finish it a little bit more. It says, while others are maxing out credit cards or driving for rideshare apps to make ends meet. That job sucks anyways. I don't know why you take it. Maybe there's some health insurance, because I think they only get like 40,000 a year. That really ain't shit to be putting up with this type of shit. Community support. Travelers at major airports have been donating gas cards, food, and essentials to help unpaid personnel. So now the people got to pay you. Staffing crisis and morale, mass resignations. At least 400 TSA officers have quit since the shutdown began on February 14th. Replacing these workers is difficult as new recruits require 4 to 6 months of training. So that's why he's sending those ICE agents over there to your airports. But this is all by design. Okay? This is all by design. They're probably going to shut down some airports. You know, smaller airports are going to be affected by this because you need TSA workers. Or he might just replace them with your federal government. Who knows? So you can get used to troops being throughout your cities and your airports, setting up checkpoints. All of this is by design. It's nothing's coincidental. The devil's always working in the midst. It says high call-out rates. National sick day call-out rates have reached 10%, with some specific hubs like Houston Hobby hitting as high as 55%. Yeah, you're calling out. Yeah, I'm sick, man. I don't think I can make it today or tomorrow either. Yeah, I got the worst flu. I think, is COVID still here? They're using every excuse not to go to work, and I don't blame them. How you going to eat? Destroyed morale. Union leaders report that morale is destroyed as workers feel used as political pawns in the ongoing stalemate over immigration reform. That's exactly what you are. Being used as a political pawn. Okay, all these federal jobs, man. It was better. You should have just worked at McDonald's. You didn't have to worry about that. These pieces of shit continue to go there and eat over there. You could have sweated out over there. Impact on operations. Checkpoint closures. Severe staffing shortages have forced some airports such as Philadelphia to shut down security checkpoints entirely. So no security checkpoints. So oh man, that opens up the door for a lot of different things. So if it's less secure to go through the airports, man, Iran might be rubbing their hands together, man. Oh, I think we can hit this bitch now. It's time to go hit the whore. She got her legs open like that. ICE reinforcements. Due to the critical shortage of TSA personnel, President Duck announced that ICE agents will be deployed to airports starting Monday, March 23rd to 23 to assist with non-security roles. That sounds horrible. Can't work. Gas prices are astronomical. You still got to pay your rent and your bills and stuff like that. I think they got a little leverage with it though. They can say, they can tell their landlords and stuff because they're government workers. They can hit them with the IOU. But because they're government workers, the duck can hit you with the IOU. So it works both ways. You might not even get paid though, honestly. Because the way the war is kicking off, it might just escalate to the point where you just get kicked out and you owe them the money. But they can take it in blood at this point, because all this shit, your whole shit's about to be fucked up anyways, even if you got money. So tell your landlord to take his money in blood. That's what's gonna happen. Shit, some of you are gonna kill your landlord. He gonna come and collect, and that's gonna be the breaking point. You're gonna put him to death. So let it all play out the way it's supposed to play out. Or he might come put you to death. Who knows? Jacob's Trouble's gonna be crazy, man. You said I owe you, but you have to give me something, man. He might come in there looking for some box too. So you single ladies out there working for TSA, he might want you to pay in a different way. And you know what? Brothers don't really talk about prostitution like that. That's gonna be the new thing, man. You're gonna see a lot of bitches on the stroll in the near future, man. There's gonna be a lot of whores on the streets. Because that's what y'all are. So the Lord's gonna put you out there. He's gonna put you on the stroll. So you can pay your bills, so you can put food on the table. We grab this in the book of James, 1652. Let's start the book of James, as a matter of fact. 1652. Since y'all don't like hearing the word, sucks to be you. James chapter 5 and verse 1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. So you rich men that are out there, weep and howl for the miseries that shall come upon you. Okay, because we're getting to the point where your money ain't gonna do anything for you. You know, especially symbolically more so the elites, because to really be rich in this world, you got to be fucking people over. Okay. James 5 verse 2, your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth-eaten. So your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth-eaten. So your riches are corrupted because of the way you obtained your money. Ill-gotten gains. Okay? And it says your garments are moth-eaten. Your garments are pretty much what you believe in. So your way of thinking is, the garment is what you, it's spiritually talking about the doctrine that you follow. Okay, and if it's moth-eaten, then it got holes in it. Okay, it's not you know, you're not covered with righteousness. You're covered with unrighteousness. You got spots and blemishes in your garments. Okay, we grab this in the book of Job 13 verse 28. It says, and he said, and he as a rotten thing consumeth as a garment that is moth-eaten. So Job's saying, what's Job talking about here? The brevity of a man. Let's start up a little bit. Job 13 verse 19, who is he that will plead with me? For now, if I hold my tongue, I shall give up the ghost. Only do not two things unto me, then will I not hide myself from thee. Withdraw thine hand far from me, and not thy dread make me afraid. So the Lord, yeah, you don't want the Lord's hand to be drawn too far away from you. Okay, just like it tells you in the book of Proverbs 30:4, because you don't want to suffer too much poverty, and then you have to go steal and go kill and too much of that. But then you don't want to be too rich where you forsake the Lord. So there's a balance that you want to be in. So people are being faced with that today. Job, everything was taken away from Job. So Job this is what he was asking for. You don't want the Lord to put it too hard on you. You know, this is why we got to pray, especially if you're so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American. The Lord will make a way for you, but you're so rebellious, you're so of this world that you're probably just going to get fucked over and end up being a prostitute on these street corners. That's for you women, and you niggas, men know how to survive better than women. You know, men know how to, you know, Jake don't really need too much, man. But at the same time, same rules apply. You can go off and become a demon if you want, and see how far that gets you. Then if you get locked up, there ain't no money in jail. You want to work for $1 a day? You could work in a kitchen. You might get $1 a day in there. Who knows? Maybe because of inflation, they might pay you a little bit more. Job 13 verse 22. Then call thou, and I will answer, or let me speak, and answer thou me. How many are mine iniquities and sins? Make me to know my transgression and my sin. That's right. Make me to know my transgression and my sin. And it starts with this law. That's how you know if you've been going off. Like a lot of people, they don't know if they're going off because they don't study the law. Come here, my man. Look at this. That's Jake right? I don't know if that's Jake. He looked weird. I think he might have been Zebulon. Job 13 in verse 24, wherefore hidest thou thy face and holdest me for thine enemy? Yeah, why are you hiding your face? Pretty much asking the Lord. And holdest me for thine enemy. Because he understands that the Lord is the one who protects us. Will thou break a leaf driven to and fro, and will thou pursue the dry stubble? Because he's basically saying, I'm nothing. You're gonna just break a leaf that's driven to and fro? I'm nothing. I'm just flesh. I ain't nothing. He's the most high, and you know he could just destroy. I ain't nothing. You know. Will thou pursue the dry stubble? You know. Why would you? It's like chasing a piece of stubble that's on the ground. It's like this. You know. He's saying he's nothing. For thou writest bitter things against me, and makest me to possess the iniquity of my youth. So he doesn't even understand why. Well, he doesn't understand why he's going through the things that he's going through, just like a lot of you people. You think it's because of the duck, but you don't understand Proverbs 21:1. The Lord is doing this, and who is affecting? It's not affecting me. I'm doing great. So what's the difference between you and I? We're two different lives. Is it because we got two different jobs, or is it because we live two different lives? No. Okay, we all gonna go through the furnace of affliction. The only difference is that, you know, I'm asking the Lord for help, and a lot of y'all ain't. So if that's in the position that you're in, that's what's gonna happen. It's the book of Job, chapter 13, and verse number 27. Thou puttest my feet also in the stocks, and lookest narrowly unto all my paths. Thou settest a print upon the heels of my feet. Job chapter 13, verse 27. Let me grab that as a matter of fact. So he puttest my, huh? I'm doing good. How you doing today? Okay. Job 13 and 27. Let me grab this. See what this is talking about. He puttest my feet into the stocks. Job 13, verse 27. It says, Job is speaking to the Most High, expressing how it feels like the Lord is dealing with him as if he's a criminal, even though he doesn't understand why he's suffering. And when you read Job 1 and 2, you understand that it's between Satan and the Lord that are putting on these afflictions on Job. And the reason why Job's going through all these things is because he's a representation of the Lord's elect. They're going to be going through the same type of afflictions. You might get your family taken away from. You might get all your resources, everything that you have, all your wealth taken away too. Just like a lot of people are going through now. Thou puttest my feet also in the stocks. Stocks, a device used to restrain prisoners, hands/feet locked in place. So we're still in our captivity. It tells you in the book of Baruch, chapter 3, verse 8. Let's grab that too. So we're not supposed to forget where we're at, why we came over here in the first place. The Lord is giving you a reminder that He's tearing this place apart. And if you're not part of the, if you don't understand what's going on, man, you're going to be taken away with it. Let me grab this.
I respect what you do. I used to evangelize. I used to preach the word of God.
I don't want to be rude to you. You got to be quiet. Baruch chapter 3, verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity where the Lord has scattered us. So the Lord scattered us according to Deuteronomy 28, verse 64. Okay? And He scattered us into all nations. Right? For a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our God. So we got to pay for all the iniquities of our fathers, meaning which we are our forefathers coming back in the regeneration. So we got to pay for our sins, roughly paraphrasing. Micah 7 and 9. We got to bear the indignation of the Lord because we have sinned against Him. So the Lord ain't, He didn't sin against us. He didn't transgress against us. We transgressed against Him. Okay. In the book of Micah 7 and 9. It tells us that. Let me grab it off my phone.
You know, one of my favorite verses. My favorite verses is Romans 8:7. Those that live according to the flesh, set their minds to the face of the flesh. And those that live
Micah 7:9, I will bear the indignation of the Lord because I have sinned against him. What is sin? Sin is the transgression of the law, according to 1 John 3, verse 4. It says, until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me, he will bring me forth to the light, and I shall behold his righteousness. So we got to bear the indignation of the Lord. So a lot of people, if you're losing your jobs, the Lord say there ain't going to be any work for Egypt. So there ain't going to be any jobs out here in the near future. So everyone's going to have to suffer the same things you suffering now. So you get a preview of what's going to happen to everybody in the near future if you're working for TSA. That's a good thing. Job chapter 13, verse 26, for thou writest bitter things against me and makest me to possess the iniquity of my youth. Thou puttest my feet also in the stocks and lookest narrowly unto all my paths. Thou settest a print upon the heels of my feet. Let's finish what they're saying. So the stocks is putting him in pretty much into captivity. He don't understand why he's trapped. This is Job feels trapped, restricted, and afflicted like he has no freedom. And you don't have any freedom. You got freedom to be wicked, because that's what Babylon is, but your freedom to be wicked is you pretty much going against the Lord. It tells you in the book of Matthew that you got to put on his yoke, Matthew 11. So you're going to be in captivity one way or the other, but I'd rather be in chains and handcuffs to serve the Lord. Matthew chapter 11, verse 28, come unto me, and all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. And the rest is this word. If you don't find rest in the scriptures, then you're done. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your soul. So you're not going to find rest in this world. You trust in waiting for the duck to give you some help with TSA and all of that. You're going to be waiting a long time. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light, because his yoke is easy and his burden is light. And ultimately, the yoke is just keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, having faith. He's not asking you to kill a baby, man. Sacrifice your firstborn. He's not asking for you to do that, like these heathen be doing. Okay? Job chapter 13, verse 28. And he as a rotten thing consumeth as a garment that is moth-eaten. So you consume it away as a moth garment that is moth-eaten, just like the garment's consuming away. That's the same way you consuming away. Okay? Because you don't have the right garment on. You're supposed to have the garment of the Lord on. All right? It says, and lookest narrowly unto all my paths, to watch closely, examine strictly. Job feels like the Most High is scrutinizing every step, almost like looking for faults. And that's what he is, though. If you're a son, it tells you in Hebrews, the 12th chapter, he likens you unto a son. So a father's going to correct his son if he sees that he's going off. Only because it's only going to get worse out here. So if he corrects you now, then that's going to prepare you for later. Hebrews chapter 12, that's the point of a father. Hebrews 12 and 6. For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. So he chasteneth, meaning he puts you through things. He afflicts you. Okay? Hebrews 12 verse 7. If ye endure chastening, God dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? Yeah, what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? So if the Father's not putting you to, if he's not correcting you, and he's allowing you to continuously go off, that might cost you your life. So the whole point of it is that the Lord is trying to correct you so you don't die. Hebrews 12 and 8. But if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons. So you're a bastard and not a son if he don't correct you. Okay? Just like he does with Esau. Esau don't get corrected. That's why Esau is in the process of robbing, stealing, and killing to the point where the Lord's going to destroy him, because he's not correcting him as a son. It tells you in the book of Zephaniah that a bastard child dwell in Ashdod. That's Israel. That's a bastard. That's a bastard son. Okay? The Lord's not dealing with them. This book of Hebrews chapter 12 and verse number 9. Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live? So you had fathers in your flesh, meaning your father that you came out of into your mother, that's your father. You reverenced him. how much more the Father of spirits? He's the one who put the spirit inside of your body. So how much more does he deserve his reverence?
Thank you, brother. I need this.
Okay? So that's pretty much it for that. Job 13, let me jump back to James 5. So going into that, those garments. James 5 verse 3, your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were with fire. Ye have heaped up treasure, you have heaped treasure together for the last days. So that's what the elites are doing. They're heaping up all this treasure, but only to get burnt up. You know, even them, they're not gonna, that money's not gonna sustain them. It's not gonna save you.
They destroy your treasures
Okay?
in your heart.
What you're doing is you're creating your own destruction. You think you're putting wealth before the Lord, okay? And that's what Esau is trying to do, but it's not gonna profit him in the end, because the Lord, all that wealth that he has is coming to the elect. All this stuff that he's storing up, it's all for the elect of Israel. James 5 verse 4, behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. So your laborers, the people who work for you, you kept back their riches. He's not, especially now. It's a sin to pay. You're supposed to, first of all, you're supposed to pay at the end of the day, okay? But this dude's telling you he didn't pay you all last week, and who knows how long. It's been 37 days, and he's been paying you, but that money was allocated to pay you. So in all actuality, he should have been got something. He should have been came up with an agreement so you can get back to work and not have to worry about it. But he's not doing that. We read this in the book of Leviticus 19 and 13. You know, he's supposed to pay you at the end of the day. But that's wicked. Oh, I'm gonna pay you 3 months from now, whenever I feel like it. That's wicked, man. But that's how this system is. Leviticus chapter 19, verse 13. Thou shalt not defraud thy neighbor, neither rob him. The wages of him that is hired shall not abide with thee all night until the morning. Yeah, the wages of him of thee shall not abide with you all night until the morning. You're supposed to pay him at the end of the day. So it's already been a week. All right, so that's the transgression of the law. He's supposed, this is a righteous country, right? This is supposed to be, you know, God-fearing country. They came here and established, you know, Christian principles. Paying you at the end of, even on a Friday, that's wicked. They'll tell you, well, you know, there's a lot of paperwork involved. Nah, you're supposed to pay them. And then when he reverses it to this digital currency, he gonna be every day it's gonna be a new price. So he gonna be fucking with your money way more when it turns digital. Mark 10 verse 19. Thou knowest the commandments: do not commit adultery, do not kill, do not steal, do not bear false witness, defraud not, honor thy father and mother. You ain't supposed to defraud. That's what he's doing. He's defrauding you. Okay. James chapter 5 verse 5. You have lived in pleasure on the earth and been wanton. Ye have nourished your hearts as in the day of slaughter. That's right. Nourish your hearts as in the day of slaughter. Ultimately talking about Esau. You storing up all this wealth for nothing, man. It ain't gonna prevent you from being slaughtered. You got a great slaughter here in the land of Idumea. So he's fattening you up. So take it all, go rob, go steal. He got a certain amount of sin he got to commit. So, hey, I got to clap it up when he commits sin now, because he at the end. So run it up. What's this? Job 21. Job 21, verse 13. They spend their days in wealth, and in a moment go down to the grave. That's right. You spend your days in wealth, and in a moment you're going down to the grave. So have fun. It's like the rich man in Lazarus' parable. You know, he was saying how My son, you, what did he say? My son, you've had good things, and Lazarus had evil things, something like that. Let's find out. Luke 16, in verse 25. But Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest thy good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things, but now he is comforted, and thou art tormented. So the same thing's going to happen. The rich man represents Esau, and Lazarus represents the nation of Israel. We've been suffering evil things, but now we're going to be comforted when we get into the kingdom, and he's going to be tormented. So that's the role reversal that the Lord's going to do, because he's wicked as hell. All right. Grab this in the book of Job 36 and 11. It says, if they obey and serve him, they shall spend their days in prosperity and their years in pleasure. So if they obey and they serve him, that's why we serve the Lord, so we can spend our days in prosperity. Esau's not, he's prospering, but he ain't living in prosperity. He got an end date. So it's not that fun. It's just like when you go on vacation, in the back of your mind, you know you got to come back and go back to work. That ain't really resting. You know, we're going to actually get to feel what it feels like to rest. And Esau, he can't rest. He has to continuously be wicked and evil. He has to always start wars and shit like that. So he's not at rest. What rest is for Israel. Lord ain't giving him no time to sleep. Every day he's getting more escalation. Small hats are running for their lives down there. So have fun. Where's Hashem? Hashem should be protecting you. Hashem's laughing at you. Isaiah 1 verse 19. It says, if ye be willing and obedient, ye shall eat the good of the land. But if ye refuse and rebel, ye shall be devoured with the sword, for the mouth of the Lord have spoken it. That's right. That's right. So you be obedient, you pretty much be living good in the land. But if you don't, you shall be devoured with the sword. The sword comes in a plethora of different things. You know? Different famines, judgments. That famine's about to kick off. The ducks pretty much threatening Iran to blow up their power plants. He just hit a nuclear facility last night called Natanz. They're saying there's no nuclear leak. That's bullshit. Okay, so if you were around, and I just looked up how many nuclear different sites are over here. There's a lot on the East Coast. If he hits one of these, I'm out. See you later. Y'all can sit here and get transformed into some zombie or something, man. Y'all don't watch, y'all don't know nothing that's going on. You got a bunch of nuclear sites. Chicago got a bunch of nuclear sites. That's a target. That's a target, man. So if you over there in Chicago, you better go find the men of the Lord, and you better get your shit together, man. Because all y'all gonna get fucked up, and he gonna protect his elect. So I ain't really worried about it, but it goes to show you gotta use wisdom. Because they'll bomb some shit, and if you ain't watching, they'll be telling you, oh no, everything's all right. Yeah, he bombed the nuclear facility, but it's fine. You ain't got nothing to worry about. Just like when he did with that train in Ohio. It was a train, it leaked some shit into the water, and they were basically telling people it's all right, and people left, and then they were doing tests on the people who remained. They had all different types of cancers. They said, were you exposed to this longer than 24 hours? That's Esau. That's what he does. So if you trust this nigga, that's what you get. You ain't watching to see what he's doing. The shit in Nebraska, he got Nebraska on fire. He's not telling you people about Nebraska being on fire. You know, the elders were talking about that. I wanted to know that from watching the news. You got to be knowing about what the prophets are talking about. Because that's how Esau is, man. He ain't gonna tell you shit that's going on out here. And if the Lord ain't directing you to get this information, that's not a good thing. The Lord's directing us to because you can't watch. It's impossible to watch everybody's video. So it's the Lord directing you to certain brothers' channels at certain times so you can hear what's going on. Numbers 23, verse 19. God is not a man that he should lie, neither the son of man that he should repent. Have he said, and shall he not do it? Or have he spoken, and shall he not make it good? That's right. He already said he was going to do all these things, so all his prophecies is going to make it good. Okay? I was actually going into 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter, last night, because after that Iranian missile that hit, I think he calls it Garcia, Diego Garcia. It's a military base between the U.S. and the U.K. in the Indian Sea. That's just 2,500 miles from the Iranian border. So do a radius around that. That's hitting all of Europe. And they didn't know they had that in their stockpile. And it tells you in the book of 2nd Esdras 15:28 that they shall waste away a part of the land of the Assyrians. That's talking about over here in America. You don't need a thermonuclear missile to waste away a part of the land of the Assyrians. There's so many different types of missiles. They don't always have to be nuclear. You can hit it with a hydrogen bomb. You can hit it with whatever. You can hit it with multiple different things. You can hit certain things that fuck the whole city up and it makes it uninhabitable. So a whole 10th part of the city is prophesied to be destroyed. You worried about TSA? Fuck all of that, man. It's about to be turned up over here, man. At any moment, fucking a 10th part of your city's gonna be destroyed. That's before the thermonuclear destruction and all of that. Okay? It tells you in Isaiah 13:7, they should not regard your silver and that's in your gold, and they're gonna dash your young men in pieces. So they're not gonna regard you coming to the negotiation table after he bombs this place. Yo, let's talk about it. You know, let's take off all the sanctions. They're not gonna want that. They're not gonna give a fuck about that. It's game over for you. And I was going into Winston Churchill, how he said, there's a duck called Keir Starmer. He said he's no Winston Churchill. But one of the famous quotes from Winston Churchill was that to make order out of chaos. Don't let a bad situation go to waste, or a good situation, however he worded it. And if you get decimated by the Iranians, they're gonna think, okay, this is the perfect time to hit this bitch. Okay, and they're probably gonna team up with everyone else to blow this place up, man. All right, and you live here, so it pertains to you, and you can't escape the Lord's judgment. So even if you don't get hit with the nuclear missiles, he got other judgments. All right, there's a lot of different things we got to go through before we even get to that level of thermonuclear missiles. This civil unrest that's going to be happening, you know. This lady keep, I don't know where that lady, she always watching. You know, so some of these women, man, they gonna be coming out of nowhere. Oh, I always see you out here, and these women see you, man. She's out of her damn mind, but when it's all said and done, watch Jake try to find the prophets, and they ain't gonna be there. All that driving by, beeping your horn bullshit, man. Beep, beep. That shit ain't gonna help you, man, if you ain't diligently seeking the Lord. Let me grab this in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 10. Because a lot of y'all know y'all are Israel, but y'all reject it because the influence of the Harlot house got you, you know, you don't want to offend anybody. But those people you don't want to offend, they're gonna get you put to death, or you know, or they're gonna take the MOTB. Deuteronomy 10 in verse 6, and the children of Israel took their journey from Baruch of the children of Jachan to Moserah. There Aaron died, and there he was buried, and Eleazar his son ministered in the priest's office in his stead. From thence they journeyed unto Gudgodah, and from Gudgodah to Jabath, a land of rivers of waters. At that time, the Lord separated the tribe of Levi to bear the ark of the covenant of the Lord, to stand before the Lord, to minister unto him, and to bless in his name until this day. Wherefore Levi have no part nor inheritance with his brethren. The Lord is his inheritance, according as the Lord thy God promised him. And I stayed in the mount according to the first time 40 days and 40 nights. And the Lord hearkened unto me at that time also, and the Lord would not destroy thee. And the Lord said unto me, Arise, take thy journey before the people, that they may go in and possess the land, which I swear unto their fathers to give unto them. And now, Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee? But to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul. So that's what you're not doing. You know, when you're Israel, you know, it's further than just knowing you're an Israelite. You got to serve the Lord with all thy heart and with all thy soul. So majority of the day, you should be trying to seek the Lord, trying to get a little bit more closer to the Lord, striving for that, trying to get there, because you're in the transgression against him. He's the one mad at you, but you acting like you mad at him. That reverse psychology ain't gonna work with the Lord. He's just gonna kill you. All right, so what you want to do is you want to repent and get right, you know, by seeking him 10 times more. You seek him by studying, you seek him by praying for more wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. The more he reveals himself to you, then you understand. And hopefully he gives you the gift of prophecy. Because that's where you want to be in these last days. That's when your spirit is really up. The Lord ain't, if you ain't prophesying, you know, you better be doing something. You better understand these prophecies. It ain't even, there's only like 3 of them that really know right now. The MOTB, World War III, and Jacob's Trouble. I mean, what's so hard about that? And you better get your shit together before he kill your ass. I mean, it ain't really that hard. But it's hard for you who can't come to this knowledge. 1 Corinthians 13:1, though I speak with the tongues of men are different languages, and of angels, and have not charity, I am become as sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. So you gotta have charity. Charity goes, the Greek word for charity is agape, which is brotherly love. All right. So this is how you do that is you do the best you can for not only for yourself but for the ministry. You make your body a living sacrifice. It starts with you being obedient. Okay, and if your talent isn't to teach, you should be trying to do something for the men of the Lord. If you believe they're if you believe that they're the men of the Lord, you want the ministry to continue, because once it stops, that's it. Okay. So a lot of us, what happens is you like a tinkling cymbal. You're just making noise. If you ain't, first of all, you gotta keep the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability. That's where the love really comes from. And by your righteous works and your good behavior, that should provoke others to do good also. Okay, so that's what the real love. That's the love right there. Going to feed his sheep and keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, regardless of what's going on in the world. Let me grab this in the book of Proverbs 30, because the Spirit kind of took me off. Proverbs chapter 30, verse, I'll start at the top. The words of Agar, the son of Jakeh, even the prophecy, the man spake unto Ithiel, even unto Ithiel and Yakal. Surely I am more brutish than any man, and have not the understanding of a man. I neither learned wisdom, nor have the knowledge of the holy. Who have ascended up into heaven, or descended? Who have gathered the wind in his fist? Who have bound the waters in a garment? Who have established all the ends of the earth? What is his name, and what is his son's name, if thou can tell? See? He's saying he don't know much, but he knows, he asking the right questions though. What is the son's name, and what is pretty much what is the father's name? if thou can tell. Okay, he's saying he was brutish. Brutish meaning like a beast. Okay, he didn't understand. But yet he's asking the right questions. Proverbs 30, verse 5. Every word of God is pure. He is a shield unto them that put their trust in him. So he's a shield unto them that put their trust in him. Proverbs 18 and 10. It tells you the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and are safe. Okay, that strong tower is this word. Okay, and the name is what allows you to get in there. If you can't accept the name, you ain't really in the ministry. Proverbs 30, verse 6. Add thou not unto his words, lest he reprove thee, and thou be found a liar. So you don't want to add or subtract to the scriptures, like Esau does. It tells you in Revelation 22 that everyone who adds or subtracts, all these plagues are going to fall upon him, and that's Esau. He's the one. He's the false prophet. He's the one who makes up all this bullshit that people believe in today. Revelation 22 and 18. I started 17. And the Spirit and the bride say, come, and let him that heareth say, come, and let him that is athirst come, and whosoever will, let him take the water of life freely. So freely as you gotten, freely give. For I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book. If any man shall add unto these things, God shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book. Plagues or the judgments. We read this in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 2. Ye shall not add unto the word which I command you, neither shall ye diminish aught from it, that ye may keep the commandments of the Lord your God, with which I command you. So you're not supposed to add or take away from the scriptures, like some men do. They take away the name of the Lord. You know, it starts with that. I was listening to, I listened to a little bit of IUIC. They just going off, man. I forgot what he was saying. What did he say last night? He was talking about I think he was breaking down Revelation, the 6th. I don't even think it was, I forgot who it was. Breaking Revelation, the 6th chapter, all wrong. He was saying the white horse was Yahushai. No. He was saying the white horse wasn't talking about Yahushai. That was talking about, the white horse talking about Esau. Because it says he's going around conquered and conquering. He's saying that's Esau going around being the top conqueror and conquering. Esau never did what the Lord is coming here to do. You know, he did conquer a lot when he was a Greek. The Romans conquered a lot. Now he has the world. But look how much time it took him to do that. The Lord's about to take all these people's crowns in 1 hour. Everything is done just quick. He can't do that, man. So our Lord is the ultimate conqueror. He's coming to conquer. He's going to show you how to conquer real quick. Not years and months and hours. He's going to be doing it in 1 hour. When he comes, it's game over for everybody. It's not going to be a long, drawn-out war like this nigga, 3 to 4 weeks. He's compared to the Lord, he looks foolish. Now, in the eyes of men, that looks great. But you know, compared to the Lord, he ain't got nothing on it. Deuteronomy 12, verse 32. What things soever I command you, observe to do it. Thou shalt not add thereto, nor diminish from it. So you ain't supposed to add thereto or diminish from it. It tells you in the book of Exodus 23, follow not a multitude to do evil. And I forgot that precept. You don't want to follow a multitude to do evil like everybody else. They add and take away from the scriptures. They don't even know that they're doing it. So you got to have that discernment to go in the scriptures and read for yourself and believe and be persuaded in your own mind. Because nobody can teach you this word. Ultimately, it's the Lord who gives you the knowledge. It ain't really the teacher. It's the Lord who allows you to know. But he uses men. So go But whatever you do have, that came from the Lord. Exodus 23:2, thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to rest judgment. So you don't want to pervert the law pretty much. Okay, that's what you're doing when you add and take away from the scriptures. And you're allowing other people to rest judgment. Okay, which means to wrestle with it. Instead of executing true judgment, you trying to find ways around it. Revelation 22:19, and if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, God shall take away his part out of the book of life and out of the holy city and from the things which are written in this book. That's right. So you're going to get put to death, long story short. Proverbs 30:7. Two things have I required of thee, deny me them not before I die. Remove far from me vanity and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me, lest I be full and deny thee, and say, who is the Lord, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai? Or lest I be poor and steal and take the name of my God in vain. That's right. So you don't want to be overly poor or overly rich. Okay, so the Lord putting you through these afflictions, you're really supposed to be praying the same prayer that Agar is saying. To don't take away, and same thing with Job. To not, in Job 13, not to take away that, don't take your hand too far away from it. Okay, you want him to constantly be guiding you. Because you'll go off if the Lord ain't dealing with you. Especially in the time right now. Gas prices are going up. You're supposed to be praying even more. Psalm 55:17. Bringing that up, bring it out again. You should be praying in this time. Psalm 55:17. Evening and morning and at noon will I pray and cry aloud, and he shall hear my voice. So that's what you need to do. That's what Daniel did. Daniel was in Babylon. Daniel was about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They were about to get burned in the furnace. You read about Daniel. He was exalted in Daniel the 2nd chapter. And Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they were up high in the Babylonian captivity. But yet they forsook all that to go into the furnace of fire. So if your faith ain't built up like that, that's a crazy amount of faith. So never mind your TSA job, you're ready to give up. Imagine being a governor of Babylon or somebody up high. And there's some jakes that are up high like that. They're up high in the Republican Party, and both Democrat and Republican Party. There's some jakes in the government. They're probably doing way better than you too. They're more secure than you. They're gonna be the last people to fall. As this place gets taken down, the last people to fall are your leaders. They control all the wealth. Just like when the government shutdown was here, they were, hey, we need like 6 million to make sure we're good for the whole year. That's what they said. For the whole year, I want to make sure we're good. They had that written in the policy they were implementing. But they don't give a fuck about you. You don't have to get paid. No, fuck them. Make sure we get paid. Proverbs 30:10. Accuse not a servant unto his master, lest he curse thee, and thou be found guilty. That's pretty much it on that. Let me grab this in the book of Philippians. So we don't want to be too poor or too rich. We want just enough to stay where the Lord wants us to be, serving him and hoping that he deliver us from this damn wicked ass society, wicked system. But we're supposed to rejoice in his works. That's good that these things are happening. A lot of Edomites work for the TSA too. It's time for them to suffer. Let's see how long they can suffer. That's what I want to see. That's what the righteous, we're going to rejoice in their suffering, even though we're going to be suffering too. We're going to see who can suffer the longest. Esau don't have integrity. He ain't going to be able to suffer for a long time. Where am I? Philippians thought it was 26. There is no 26 there. Maybe it's 2. I forgot. What did he say? I know how to abound and I know how to abase. Let's look that up. And abase. Philippians 4. That's where I'm at. Nope. Went to 2. Philippians 4, I'll start at 13. I can do all things through Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, which strengtheneth me. Notwithstanding ye have well done, that ye did communicate with my affliction. Now ye Philippians know also that in the beginning of the gospel, when I departed from Macedonia, no church communicated with me as concerning giving and receiving, but ye only. And I believe that's talking about, let me look that up as a matter of fact, because I think he's talking about taking care of the people who are, taking care of him as he was doing his ministry. Philippians 4, verse 15. Paul emphasizes their consistent financial giving and receiving partnership as a meaningful investment in the gospel, acting as a fragrant offering pleasing to God. That's right. They weren't even doing that. So the Philippians were the only ones who were answering them. And it's not like he was begging, but he had to do things too. Okay. Philippians 4 verse 16. Philippians 4 verse 16. For even in Thessalonica ye sent once and again unto my necessity, not because I desire a gift, but I desire fruit that may abound to your account. Right. I desire fruit that may abound to thy account. Let me look that up. Because he's basically saying he's not asking for money for himself. But I want to see what he meant by he desired fruit. He desired fruit. He emphasizes that their generosity acts as a divine investment, prioritizing their spiritual growth and eternal reward over material gifts. The fruit, karpos, refers to the spiritual results, blessings, or divine reward generated by their generous acts. So pretty much allowing the ministry to continue. Instead of him stopping, trying to find a job and having to do this, and that takes away from the work. Philippians chapter 4, verse 18. But I have all and abound. I am full, having received of Epaphroditus the things which were sent from you, and an odor of a sweet smell, a sacrifice acceptable, well pleasing to God. So whatever they gave him, it was well pleasing to the Lord. Okay, going back to 1 Corinthians the 13th chapter about brotherly love, man. Whatever charity is that's another form of charity too. If you got it, if you can, whatever brother if you do that, it's really between you and the Lord. It has nothing to do with anything other than that. And plus, when you give an offering, it should come from your heart, not because somebody asked you to do it. That's more well pleasing to the Lord when you do it out of your own heart. Philippians chapter 4, verse 19. But my God shall supply all your need according to his riches in glory by Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. This is not what I'm looking for. They said it was Philippians 4. Oh, I started too far up. It's Philippians 4, verse 11. Not that I speak in respect of want, for I have learned in whatsoever state I am, therefore, with to be content. So yeah, you got to learn that. You got to learn how to be content with whatever state that you're in. Okay, and that's hard to do. But we gotta, because we're coming from Babylon. Babylon, you can have everything in this decrepit place. You think everything's good over here, and it's not. Because you get a more reliant on Esau to maintain those things. You can't forget that. First of all, you're here in captivity. This nigga took over everything, and the reason why everyone's wicked because he's the one who's setting up the curriculum in the school. The same nigga that's causing all these wars. So you gotta kind of brush off everything you learned from this piece of shit. Everything he taught you about the Bible is all fake. The Lord's a so-called white man. That's a lie. He's a liar. You believe anything this nigga says, you've been deceived. First Timothy chapter 6 and verse 6, but godliness with contentment is great gain. So you got to be content. All right? You got to be content, man. Content meaning whatever the Lord provided you with, that's all you really need. He gave you life. He gave you breath. He gave you clothes. That's pretty much it. Esau can take away your job. He can try to stop you from eating, stop you from drinking. The little you have, man, you're not gonna leave this place with anything. So it's best to keep your mind on that one fact for sure. You came in here with nothing, and you're gonna leave with nothing. But yet, I even look around my place. I'm like, I got way too much shit. I don't need all that shit. I don't need a TV. I don't need a bed, man. I don't need anything. I don't need a car. You need breath, man. You need, as long as you can serve the Lord, you got this word, that's all you need. And the Lord's gonna, of course you need water and food, and the Lord's gonna provide that too. Now how he's gonna do it, hey, we're gonna find out. But are we gonna trust in the Lord though? 1 Timothy 6, verse 7, for we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain we can carry nothing out. That's right, we can carry nothing out of this world, man. Carry nothing. Psalms 37. Let me grab this precept real quick. I went into that last night. Psalms 37, verse 16. A little that a righteous man have is better than the riches of many wicked. That's right. The little that you have, which is just a little bit of faith. That's better. That's that little. That's that mustard seed that's gonna grow into a kingdom. That's better than the riches of the wicked. Okay, because he gonna run out of, he ain't gonna have any money. The money's not gonna be able to protect him. The bunkers he hiding in, the Lord gonna get him from there too. So you gotta trust in the Lord. Grab some book of Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 15, verse 16. Better is little with the fear of the Lord than great treasure and trouble therewith. So better, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Alright, so better is little with fear of the Lord. As long as you got that fear of the Lord, man, that's gonna take you a lot further than having riches. Proverbs chapter 16 and 8. Better is a little with righteousness than great revenues without right. That's right, without right, meaning without righteousness. Better is a little with righteousness. And the Lord's going to show you that. Okay. I think that's pretty much it on that. Philippians 1 Timothy 6 and verse 8, and having food and raiment, let us be there with content. So having food and raiment, let us be therefore content. So raiment is clothing. Food and raiment. It don't say a house, don't say a car, don't say a job. That's what you're gonna have to learn how to be content with. So that's where your contentment should be. You got clothes on your back, and did you eat? Then you're content. That's it. That's all you need. You got the basic necessities the Lord provided you with. So as long as He's giving you food on your back, food on your back, clothes on your back, and food in your belly, you gotta be content with that. And yes, that includes water too. All right. Let me grab this in the book of Job, chapter 1. Where the hell is Job at? Job chapter 1 and verse 21, it said, naked came I out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return thither. The Lord gave, and the Lord have taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. In all this Job sinned not, nor charged God foolishly. So naked he came into the world, and naked he gonna leave. All right. That's what we're saying here. Psalms 49. In verse 17. For when he dieth, he shall carry nothing away. His glory shall not descend after him. That's right. When he dies, shall take nothing away. You know, he tells you in the book of Matthew that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of God. So you can't even take your flesh with you, man. That is it. Nothing's going with you. 1 Timothy 6 verse 9, but they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition, which is destruction too. You know, you have too much, you can be destroyed. Going back to Proverbs the 30th chapter, let me finish what I had in Philippians. Philippians 4 verse 11. Not that I speak in respect of want, for I have learned in whatsoever state I am, therefore to be content. So we learn what being content is, having food and raiment. So he learned how to, you got to learn that. How to be content with just food and raiment, that's it. Everything else is just extra. All right? That's what the Lord's going to give us. Philippians 4 verse 12, I know both how to be abased, and I know how to abound. Everywhere and in all things I am instructed, both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. So we gotta learn. We're gonna learn that same lesson. All right, but all of it is a humbling down. You know, you should be seeking the Lord more. You get to the point where if the Lord take anything away from me, at this point it's the Lord doing it. Not blaming it on my boss, or not blaming it on anybody else, but me and the Lord. That's it. Okay, it's not. He takes away your house. If he takes you, puts you on the street, you gotta bear that indignation. All right. 1 Timothy 6 and 10. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. So you pierce yourself through with many sorrows for the love of money. You're supposed to love the Lord. You pierce yourself through with all that sorrow for nothing. There's nothing in this world that is better than obtaining the knowledge of the Lord. Exodus 23 and 8, and thou shalt take no gift For the gift blindeth the wise and perverteth the words of the righteous. So you ain't gonna take any gifts. You know, that's what some of these teachers have done. That's why you see them, they ain't teaching the truth anymore. You know, they just stopped teaching. They just continue to want to be in the world. Okay. We got us in the book of Deuteronomy. Chapter 16. Verse 19. Thou shalt not rest judgment, thou shalt not respect persons, neither take a gift, for a gift doth blind the eyes of the wise and pervert the words of the righteous. And that's what Esau wants to do. So that also shows you got to watch who you listening to, man. You know, everybody's about the bag. Everyone's you gotta be able to discern people's intentions. You know, people want money. That's what they covet. That's what they're about. It's always a poor nigga that want money more than anybody else too. Poor people, it ain't always, they hate their poverty so much. If you don't have this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, you would think that it's a burden of being poor, but it's really to strengthen you up, because it ain't gonna be any work for Egypt anyways. You know, going back to those TSA workers, I know I'm all over the place, but same shit it ain't really nothing to laugh about, because most jobs are going to be taken away. Isaiah 19, if not all of them. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, Isaiah 19 and 15, which the head or tail branch or rush may do. So the head or the tail is someone at a high position, and then the tail's a low position. So there ain't going to be no regular jobs. There ain't going to be no jobs that are way up there. You know, CEO, whatever you know, COO. You ain't gonna have a job either. And they got way more to lose than you, so they're more likely to take the chip. At least when you don't have all that shit, you have a better chance of not taking the chip, because, you know, you ain't got the love for the world like them. They want to maintain their boats and materialistic wealth in order to, you know, keep it going. You know, they got a beautiful wife. They want to keep her entertained. They don't want her to leave, because she'll get up and go. You ain't got the bag anymore. It's like a drug dealer. He fall off his feet. That bitch is gone. You get locked up. She's on to the next nigga that got money and you know, is doing his thing. Keep going. 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 11. But thou, O man of God, flee these things and follow after righteousness, godliness, faith, love, patience, and meekness. That's right. O man of God. Okay, not everyone is a man of God. That's number one. That's really for the men who teach this word. Okay? It's important that you flee those things. We're not of this world, man. People who came out here and teach, they've been said, fuck this place, and this nigga Esau. Okay? So at least they got to the point where they can step on Caesar Borgia's face. Some people, you put a Jesus Christ thing, you'll step on that. Ah! They feel like all types of demons be at. I can't, you know, because they got it shows you how much of a stronghold Christianity got on so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. It's traumatic for them to actually leave that. So it's all understandable. You know, they you know, it is what it is. I'm just glad the Lord got me up out of that bullshit, praising this nigga, this faggot ass, bitch ass nigga Esau. I hate this nigga so much, you don't even know. So if you can't even look at the image, you can't even get over his face. That it don't even match the scriptures. That's how you know it's a spiritual stumbling block. 1 Timothy 6 and 12, fight the good fight of faith, lay hold on eternal life, whereunto thou art also called, and have professed a good profession before many witnesses. And that's what we're doing. Lay hold, fight the good fight of faith, man. I'm gonna end it there. Lord's will, this was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh Shai, Hashem Rachakadash. Shalom, Abad Babal, Kwam Yasharala.